Hungry people, what is going on? Today is episode 50 of the podcast. Who would have thought, right? 50 episodes on the Hungry People podcast. Let's do it. Let's get into it. It's really awesome to be here and that you guys come back and listen to me talk now, at least, um, and or my guest. AJ, if you hear this, I hope you're doing well, dude. I miss you on here. Can't wait to have you back. Um, So yeah, today I wanted to talk about pretty much why I'm plant-based slash vegan, why I eat, how I eat, plans for the future, what I see coming, and yeah, so let's do it. So where did I start with being vegan? Matter of fact, it was 28, 2017, end of 2017. And my family was actually watching What the Health, believe it or not. And I just like came into the room. It was halfway, legit. It was halfway into the show. I came in, sat down, and watched it. I'm like, wow, that's so crazy. That's so cool to see like all these people. Well, not all these. I think there was like three or four examples of people getting plant based on there and seeing great health benefits, great results. And it's like, yeah, well, three people. There's 7 billion people. Like, maybe we need a little more here, but um, yeah. But anyways, I thought What the Health was great. And in my head, I'm thinking like, huh, you know what? I can do that. I could probably try that. And they actually kind of made me scared to eat meat. Like they made it seem like that you're gonna get heart disease and a set like tomorrow if you eat animal products. Um, and I had that in the back of my mind. So legit, like cold turkey, I went vegan. Like I know. Mr. Agreeable here. I did it just like that. Now, uh, that was going into my final season for baseball. So now it was a little tough, traveling and being on the team and doing the best I can to be vegan. Like I was probably more vegetarian, I guess, for that time period. Um, Even though I'm not sure, maybe I wasn't. Maybe I was probably like 99% vegan. There could have been like maybe if we went to a restaurant after a game. I think the one time I got like pancakes and that may have they probably were there's no way they were vegan. So but for the most part, like I did the best that I could. I mean, there's only so much I could do. I'm a college kid. I'm playing baseball. Everyone else is shoving steaks down their throats while I'm eating sweet potatoes. Um, but yeah, if I had to go back, I honestly would not have done that. I wouldn't have just went vegan cold turkey. I would have considered it. I would have maybe changed some of my eating habits a little bit. But I probably would have waited until after the season to really make that change. Like doing something like that, like so drastic, right in the middle of a baseball season and just in general, in the middle of anything, it's tough. It's tough to do, and it's tough to sustain. Even though I sustained it, I did it, and people would be like, "Oh, well, MP, if you were eating meat, you would have done better, or this or that." Um, yeah, because the actual matter of fact, the year before, I had like a really like unbelievable year. I went off, sort of, kind of. Um, and I was like, wow, next year is gonna be the same. And it just wasn't the same. There was a lot of mental stuff that was going on there. I don't think a lot of it was my diet, if I'm like being straight up. So yeah, but people would people would claim that that it was my diet. Even though I was still eating a bunch, I still look good. I actually think I hit the hardest ball of my life as a vegan. um so yeah, but yeah, I definitely think I should have waited until after the season though. That would have been much better. So anyways, I started off, going vegan for my health after watching What the Health. And then as time goes on, you start to realize, wow, like the animals really are being treated poorly. It's really messed up what they're going through. You see these videos that Carb Strong posts, Earthling Ed. Who else? I mean, there's a bunch of animal activists out there that you can watch and follow and just see the footage. I mean, it's horrible. I mean, it's really it's terrible. And even I would argue that most people would say that it's bad, yet they're still supporting it every single day. And most people don't want to see it. They just straight up they don't. They can't. I don't want to see it. It's horrible. It sucks. And that's what's like really confusing about all this that goes on. I think that's gonna be for another episode though. I actually want to bring a buddy of mine on, Nick, who's really into the animal activism, and I really want to dive into all that kind of stuff with him on here because he's extremely intelligent with this stuff and does a lot of research and he actually goes out and practices animal activism. So yeah, but it definitely like am I vegan for ethical reasons? It's definitely up there. Am I vegan for health reasons? Yes, it's up there too. I think it's just like sort of all the above. Um so anyways, yeah, so then I was doing like a bunch of intermittent fasting and stuff, and I talked about this on my story. I think that was episode 2. But yes, I got into like intermittent fasting after baseball and then I found like Dr. Moore's and I found like the fruit and and I was like raw for a year and then I learned a bunch of stuff while I was being raw and I'm realizing like, oh, maybe it's not the best to be raw or for myself at least. So then I change up how I'm eating and whatnot. But yeah, I did like a lot of juice fasting during that time, a lot of fruit fasting, some dry fasts. I mean, I was legit pretty much dry fasting every single day for 16 hours. I mean, crazy stuff, right? Not drinking any water. I mean, talk about regrets, right? What was I doing? Oh my gosh. Yeah. I think if I made some changes, like being raw, maybe I'm not gonna say I would still be raw, but I think that like I could have made it more sustainable. Like dry fasting every day is not making anything sustainable. Like I know people talk about fasting right now and they're like, oh, I fast for 16 to 18 hours a day. But they're not dry fasting. They're probably drinking coffee. They're probably drinking tea. They're taking something in. I just feel like not many people can do that. Can just dry fast. But I did I legit did that like every day for a year and a half. Nothing in my body for 16 hours. And it just like created disordered eating patterns and stuff. And I feel like, am I still working through that? Kind of a little bit, I would say. Um, but yeah, so matter of fact, I finish up being raw for a year, and then I find Dirty and Rider, and then I start like carbing up and really like eating hella rice and potatoes and like not doing any greens and vegetables. And then I realize like that's not good either, and I'm adding in refined sugar and yeah. And you learn from that experience, right? And then you find something else, and then you find something, and like it just like keeps the ball just keeps rolling. Um, I actually do think that like a more raw till 4-ish diet is probably the best way for at least me to eat. Like I still pretty much do that. Matter of fact, I'll still do like 2 fruit meals sometimes, or I'll do like some fruit in the morning, and then I just love. For those of you that don't follow me on Instagram, hey, yeah, let's just get into it now. Actually, about how I eat now. Like for those that don't follow me on Instagram, I pretty much post all of my meals. I don't post all of them, but I post pretty much most of them on my stories or I'll make posts and stuff. And because that's the reason why I do that is because when I was raw, I would always see other accounts posting like this person's lying. You never know what they're doing in the background. Someone will say they're a raw vegan and then they're fucking eating eggs and eating meat on the side and they're not posting about it. Like everyone's lying, which I agree. Like I think a lot of people out there are just fucking lying. And who do you trust? So I've always thought like, okay, well, if I have my account and I'm showing people what I eat, like I want to be real about it. I want to be honest about it. And once again, like I don't post every single meal. But pretty much 99% of what I eat. I mean, there's times when like I go out and like maybe I'll have some chips or something and it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna post it. Or like it's like in the moment and I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna post that. It's just but like really every time I make my food, it's like take a picture, put it on Instagram. Like it's crazy thinking about it. But it's also cool too, because I love sharing. Um, but I also feel like there's just a lot of judgmental people to where it's like, I don't want to post this because they're gonna judge me for what I'm eating. And but I still do it anyways, for the most part. Matter of fact, I went to Whole Foods yesterday and I got the first time I ever got Whole Foods like meal, a Whole Foods meal. And damn, it was like $29 for what I got. I was like, holy shit. This is way overpriced. I mean, it was good. It was heavy though, like really heavy stuff. But would I do it again? Probably not. I'd rather just go make a $2 meal at home or maybe a $5 meal. So yeah, so what do I eat now? Um, I love my slurries. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, I make this bowl. It's called a slurry. And now I didn't come up with the name of that. That was Leo who came up with the name. He just started saying it. Like, oh, it's a slurry. Just it's a slurry, slurry, slurry. And then like I took it on. Now, once again, I'm not claiming that I'm the one that came up with the name. Leo did. I'm just the one who makes the food. And the slurry is like the perfect name for what I make. So it's really just it's like raw vegan oatmeal for the most part. You just take some bananas, mash it up, add some cinnamon, and then after that you can pretty much add whatever you want because bananas usually digest well with anything. And recently, past like 2 months, I started adding in nuts and seeds and some nut butter. So I'll do like some pistachio. I throw like just like a handful, like handful of pistachios, like a small handful of walnuts, and then some almond butter. And then I'll like chop up some dates, throw some dates in there or raisins. My gosh, it's so good. And I've actually noticed like awesome results. I feel like I actually do think that it's putting more muscle on my body. I mean, if you see me, like I'm pretty cut up. Like I'm pretty big. I'm not big because I was golfing this weekend. I'm wearing this like polo shirt, and I'm like, I look so small. Like, what the heck? Like, this shirt's making me look so small. But then, like, I take it off, and I'm like chiseled. I mean, I'm not gonna say like I'm just some fucking ripped dude. Um, but no, I definitely have muscle. I do have abs, if that means anything. I do work out a good bit. I actually work out 3 times a week for the most part, and I do 3 runs a week. So does that mean that I work out 6 times a week? Hmm. Like, what is a workout? Maybe sitting on the toilet's a workout for some people. I also do a workout class with a buddy of mine on Thursday, so I guess I do 4 workouts. So I like double up that day. um, but no, like I've definitely noticed great results, and I don't want to stop with it. Like this is something where I like if I'm doing a slurry, like add some nuts, add some hemp seeds, add some nut butters. Like I'm doing it. It's so good. It fills me up. I stay full. I get my calories in. By adding in the nuts and seeds, I get in more micronutrients. Um, Even though like that's what's tough because with the nuts and seeds, like it's more fat than protein. Like I wish it was the opposite. I wish it was more protein than fat, but it's all good. I'm still getting protein in that. But Yeah. So matter of fact, I kind of want to like change up because I was doing like two meals of that, like breakfast and lunch recently. Or I'll do like I sometimes I would do like oatmeal for lunch. I'll even get like some cereal from this co-op the East End Food Co-op we have here in Pittsburgh. And it's like some natural food cereal. I don't know. It's like you could say it's like cleaner cereal. And I mean, I love it, but I think it's good for like a quick, if you need something quick, put that in with some soy milk, throw some raisins, dates in there. You can even add nuts and seeds too, and digest great, tastes delicious. Um, so sometimes I'll do that. I'll do like actually, there's been frozen jackfruit at Costco, so I'll even let the jackfruit thaw out over the night, and I'll eat that in the morning and whatnot. But I actually may start doing more juices in the morning, so I think I'm gonna do like a juice and some fruit to start my day, and then do like a slurry for lunch or oatmeal. And then, yeah, so my dinners now, excuse me, my dinners, it just depends. Like, there's usually always a vegetable, there's usually always like rice or potatoes or quinoa. And then sometimes I'll do greens, sometimes I'll do a green juice, sometimes I'll do, there's usually like legumes in there or lentils or chickpeas or something like that. And then I always have a dressing or always have a sauce. So yeah, like yesterday I had potatoes, romaine lettuce, tomatoes, and then I actually got this like lentil dip or something from Whole Foods, and I added that. But yeah, I'll do like guac or I'll make these amazing dressings, just add it on there and get after it. So it's kind of more like a raw tofu-ish dinner, I guess you could say. Um, Starch, legumes, greens, vegetables. Try to think. Sometimes I'll do like a veggie burger occasionally. But yeah, so that's pretty much how I eat now. And then yeah, I'll do fruit. Um, I've been actually I had plums the other day and they were like really good. Super sweet, super juicy. So okay. So people with the whole AJ thing, with him breaking veganism, and it's crazy because I've actually had a lot some friends in college who are vegan. They weren't like playing baseball, just friends that I've came to know, get really um got close with at or in college at Seton Hill. They are vegan, and now none of them are either. Um, it's just it's it's just so interesting seeing like people go in and out, and for a lot of people, it's just not sustainable. They can't do it. Now, people once again, so with the whole age, I think people are like, all right, if you like, when are you gonna stop? When's the time for you to be like, when's your next vegan video coming out? When are you gonna eat that steak? Come on, P. Like, let me make you a steak. Let me make you a steak. And I'm like, nah. I mean, my best friends from back home here, we like when we eat dinner together, they're eating steak, and like I will do like an impossible. Like I'll to be a part of it, I will do like a Beyond Burger or do some Impossible meat, which I don't care. I think that stuff's good. You may think it's disgusting. That's fine. I think it tastes pretty good, straight up. Which how could it be? It's a processed food. A lot of processed food tastes good, and I think it's cool. Like I don't want to eat it every day, obviously, but if there's a time where I'm with my friends and I want to like sort of kind of be like them a little bit, like I'll get some and I'll make it, and it's fine. It is what it is. And people are like, yeah, we just eat the steak. It's healthier for you or it's better for you. Well, I don't want to do that. So now, really for me, right now, I'm what, like 4.5 years into this? 4 years and 7 months into it. Matter of fact, it's August 1st today. I have no reason to stop. Like, why am I going to stop being vegan? Like, Like I look pretty good. I feel good. I'm getting great results athletically. Um, I can run pretty well. I can lift pretty well. I have endurance. I've fucking so much energy. What's up, buddy? I'm dog sitting right now. That's why I'm in a different room if you're watching the video online here. How you doing? Yeah. Hey, you want to get to the bathroom? Not right now, buddy. I'm doing a podcast. um, um, yeah, I mean, I just have no reason to stop at all. Oh yeah. I was saying that I feel really good. I have so much fucking energy. Like I really do. Like, like I just feel like I can just keep going on and on and on and on. And like it's just even this weekend, I got up at 5. I went to bed late. I've been going to bed late recently. Can't I just can't seem to get to bed early. But it's fine. You know, I'll be okay. Even though I love sleep and I'm all about getting enough sleep. But I went to bed at like 11:15, 11:30ish, got up at 5. Actually, maybe it was until 12, but I got up at 5. I played 36 rounds of golf, and then I went to the Pirates game that day. And then that night I didn't get to bed till like 1:30. And like I'm not kidding. I don't think I was tired once the entire day. Like just had so I don't know. I don't know what it is sometimes. But I mean there are days where I'm like, wow, like I'm tired. Like yesterday was Sunday. Yes, I was tired on Sunday a little bit. Matter of fact, it's the first time ever that I'm doing a podcast on the day that I'm posting the podcast. So I can speak on that. Um, but yeah, so overall, really, I just have no reason to stop being vegan. Like I love the food that I eat. I love it. Like that's so I make amazing dishes. I make amazing food. I have no reason. Um, Now there are times when I think about like, wow, this is like a time right now where it would be nice, not nice, but just like let go and not be vegan for a meal and then just come back to what I'm doing, to how I normally do it. Let me give you an example. So I went to a wedding last October, November. One of my best friends got married, and there was just like a buffet style of food there. And I had a few drinks in me. We were getting after it a little bit. Of course, it's a wedding. I mean, I went 2.5 years being sober. So, like drinking for me really isn't an issue. Like I'll not drink, but there are times when it's like, okay, I'll have some beers, let's have a good time kind of thing. I don't want to be so restrictive in my life. But anyways, it's a buffet styled dinner. And I'm like, "Ugh, fuck, like I don't think there's anything I can eat. And I don't even know if there's anyone like I could have like asked to be like, hey, is this vegan? Like, is there dairy or eggs or butter in the pasta here? Or like, because there were a few items that I could have possibly eaten. I think, yeah, the pasta was one. There may have been salad, but I forget. And there was like a bunch of other like meat options. I think there was like potatoes, probably potatoes there. And I could have asked like, hey, is there butter in this? Because, everyone cooks with butter, I guess. And I didn't ask anybody. And I didn't eat anything when I was there. And like I was actually sitting there and I was like depressed almost because I couldn't eat anything. And you could have said like, oh well, you could have prepped. And I've been to a ton of weddings that I've prepped for, and it works out great. It works out fine. It works out great. Um, for this one, it wasn't just like actually I was in this wedding too. I was one of his groomsmen. But it just didn't work out that way. So I didn't prep, and I didn't eat dinner, and that's what's hard about it sometimes. So for something like that, it would have been like, and what I should have done was I should have just said fuck it and just had the pasta and just ate that, or maybe had the potatoes. And for that meal, I'm not sure. I would have never known if it was vegan, if it was not vegan. Not sure. I have no clue because no one would have told me. So, so for stuff like that, if you're like really into this, it's like once again, it's better off just to not eat the food. You go out to dinner. If you don't know what's in it, it's better off just not to eat it if you want to be a strict vegan in person. And that's what I get. And I was I was starving. I was starving. But I mean, we ended up going back to his house and there was some food there. So, but I didn't eat till like 12 at night. And even that night, matter of fact, that night we turned the clocks back. So we got an extra hour. I was up till 5 a.m. that night. I got like 2 hours of sleep. It was horrible, but I had so much fun. um, so yeah, so for an instance like that, it would have been nice just to eat the pasta. And then there's another wedding I'm going to in September here, and my friend's like, "Hey, dude, there's nothing like I'm not sure there's anything vegan you can eat. Like there's a portobello ricotta dish, I think. Like you can do that if you want." But I'm like, "Yeah, I don't think I'm going to." Like, is it once again? It's like, is it worth one meal to like? Would it be like? It's not like it's breaking veganism, is it? I guess it is, but um, I guess you just wake up the next day and just keep going. So I don't know. It's it's super weird. It really is. Like, how do you like even people who are raw? If you eat olives, you're not a raw vegan. Like, I don't think olives are raw. I think like they're hard to hard to eat raw or something, or they had like have to get through a process. If you eat like cashews or, I mean, there are a lot of nuts that are like raw, like for sure. But like even cashews, I think a lot of cashews are cooked. It's just like these stupid labels, not stupid, but like these labels that we put on ourselves. Or it's like I'm a raw vegan, but it's like if you eat cashews, you're not a raw vegan, technically speaking. But you're calling yourself a raw vegan. Or if you eat olives, you're not a raw vegan. So it's funny because I asked someone the other day, I was like I don't really, I don't smoke. Like I don't like smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke weed, but occasionally I'll have a cigar. So I said to this guy, I said, "Hey, do you think that since I'm smoking this cigar right now, like, would you consider that I smoke?" Because if I say to someone, "Oh no, I don't smoke," but they see me smoking, it'd be like, "Dude, you said that you don't smoke. So why are you smoking?" Right? But then it's like, how do I clarify that to people? Oh, I only smoke on occasion. I guess that's better to say. But it is easier to say like, "Oh, I don't smoke." Like even for me, like I would honestly say like I don't drink, but like I do drink like once every couple months. So, and then my other friend came in and he was like, "Yeah, well, I consider people who smoke like they smoke cigarettes or they smoke every day or they do it consistently, that kind of thing." So I feel like we we do we do know what we're talking about when we say that. I don't smoke. Okay, we get it. You may have a smoke here or there. Like you may have a cigar here or there. You don't drink. Okay, you may have a drink here or there, kind of thing. Um, so like, is that the same thing with veganism? It's like, oh, I'm vegan. Oh, but I'll have some cheese here and there. Well, are you vegan then? Not really, I guess. If you have cheese from an animal, but that's only like once a month. So it's just like the labels. It can get really confusing. Um, But yeah, so overall with this, I really have no reason to stop being vegan. Not at all. Now let's move on. Um, for what I see myself in the future. Um, Now I've even told people this. Even like Josh Buchanan, who have had in the podcast. There's been some people who have went back to eating animal products, and I've even mentioned this to them as well. I think in the future, like I'm open to doing um or to eating like organic fresh eggs from a local farm, or maybe people like they're into like raw dairy now, I guess that's a thing. Like maybe trying that later in life. I don't know. Once again, I have no clue. Um, there's a lot of people who talk about the benefits of cheese. Like if there's some, I think there's like something. Is it like I don't know. It's like A2s in cheese something. I forget actually, but there could be like K2 in cheese as well. Um, like I think if you do eat like fermented or like actually healthy cheeses, you don't just go to like Giant Eagle or your local grocery mart and you get like plastic cheese that's in plastic from Kraft, and you actually go out to a local farm and get like legit cheese where these people actually do care for their animals and they treat them well. Like, is that ethical? I don't know. Um, but yeah, so like I could maybe potentially, like I'm never gonna say never. Like I could maybe see myself doing that. But I have no clue. I'm not like it's just funny because you'll see people who being like, oh, I was an ethical vegan for 10 years and I started eating animal products. So it's like, did these people probably were like, I'm gonna be vegan forever, you know? Like we can all say that, but how do you know what's gonna happen? You know, even AJ, you know, I'm talking to him saying like, I mean, at some point in my life, you know, I'm possibly open to eating animal products again, but like I want to be vegan. Like I don't want to do that. And then even it was more, and it seemed like it was more convincing for him to say, "Oh, like I'm gonna be vegan my whole life," and now he's not. So we can say whatever we want. How do we know what's gonna happen in our lives? You know, you can really just control what you can control, and obviously the one thing we can control is putting what we put in our bodies, 100%. Maybe, maybe not 100% because I think the mind, there's addictions and stuff, and it can be hard for some people. But like if there's a health issue that you're dealing with, and maybe it is better to, I don't know, eat eggs, which is like who would say that? But there's a lot of people out there who would say that, and there's a lot of people out there who wouldn't say that. So I guess it just depends on who you follow. But yeah, so um, even with like even the meat stuff though, it's like it still just like gets to me. Like the animal, like just eating a dead animal right now, I can't even think to do it. Um, but yeah, like that, I guess once again, it's a kind of thing where it's like, okay, maybe in the future I'm open to doing that. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not gonna say never, but I don't want to do it. So I hope that like makes sense for people and that you understand that and you actually hear where I'm coming from. So yeah, but I mean, once again, I have no reason to stop eating only plants. Um, but yeah, like coming back to like my friends and going out to dinner or like eating dinner together, you know, they like it would be nice, not nice, but like because it wasn't nice for the animal, but it'd be like, would it be easier? I don't even know if it'd be easier, but it'd be more enjoyable. I don't even know if it'd be more enjoyable, but it's like it'd be. I don't even know what it would be, but if we were all just eating the same food, it maybe it would make things easier, and I wouldn't have to like go out of my way to do what I do. So yeah. Now coming off those points there of me being like in the future open to eating, you know, some like locally, I don't want to say grown, locally pastured animal products, if that's how you want to say it. I'm definitely open to that in the future. Once again, I don't know if that's going to be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. I don't know. You know, I always think of like, oh, well, like when I have a wife and we have kids, if that ever happens, and once again, it's a hypothetical. Uh, like my kid's 5 years old and we're at a birthday party and everyone's eating cake. Do I just say like, no, son or daughter, you can't have cake because there's milk on that and we don't do that? Like, how do I go about that? I don't know. Like, do I just pull my kid back and just, or do I bring a cake for him? Everyone's eating ice cream. Oh, I'm sorry, son. There's no vegan ice cream for you here. Sorry, you can't have any. I don't know. I don't know. It really, I'm not there yet. So once again, it's a hypothetical, but it's just stuff that I think about. because I see it every single day. But yeah, anyways, this is leading into like some of the, I guess, the hardest parts for being vegan. And this does come back to the point that I made earlier of like, I'm at a wedding and there's nothing vegan to eat. Do I just starve? Well, I'm not really starving because I'm probably nourished enough anyways. But like, I think to myself, okay, like when are the hardest times of being vegan? And it is like going out to a restaurant where there's not much food, or if I actually want to hang out with my friends and be with my friends, then like sometimes we get to places to eat that don't really care for animal ethics or animal rights, and there's like not much that's vegan, if anything. And I think like, oh well, like that would be the best time to be like, even if it was just like a vegetarian. Not necessarily saying that I would eat meat. Here, another example. My buddy was at brunch the other day, and he didn't invite me. I think he was with his girlfriend. But I looked at the menu and I was like, because I knew where he went, and I was thinking like, wow, if he actually did invite me to get a brunch today for whatever reason, I mean, there's like there was nothing specifically on the menu that I could have eaten. Now they could have. I don't think they had oatmeal, but like yeah, you can like you could always makeshift meals. You could always put together stuff and make it vegan. Like another example, I coach baseball. We're away for a tournament, and we had like 2 hours between games. So the kids are like, let's go out to eat, let's go out to eat, let's go out to eat. So and and they're also saying like, MP, come with us, like come eat with us. These kids are 10 years old, and I mean, who won't want to hang out with me more, right? No, I'm just joshing. But so even the parents were like, hey, MP, yeah, just come with us. We'll go grab food. It'll be all good. So I go, we all go. They, not we, they decided to go to IHOP. Well, going to IHOP as a vegan isn't easy. So I'm legit like, fuck. Like, I don't know. There's nothing I can eat here. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And like, these people barely even know me. They know me for like 4 months because I coached their kids. And I'm like really looking hard at the menu, trying to like put something together. And then fortunately, I pull up like the nutrition facts from IHOP on my phone, and like it tells you exactly like what's vegan and what isn't. So I was like, okay, I can do that, because I don't want to like be a pain in the ass and tell the waitress in front of those people like, hey, I don't eat this. Can you go double check for me and make sure that I'm good? Like, I don't want to be a pain in the ass. It's honestly, it's just it's just disrespectful, I think, to the people that I'm with. I mean, it is and it isn't, because they should respect me for my decisions and my choices, but I also want to have respect for them and not just like cause a total scene and be an asshole. Am I being an asshole? Probably not, but I think you get what I'm saying. So, yes, but fortunately, I found those nutrition facts and I was able to see everything that was vegan. So I legit was like, hey, so this is really on the menu, but I'm gonna like make a little dish here. I got like rice, potatoes, peppers, onions, avocado, and it was good. It was fine. It is what it is. But yeah, so for something like that, once again, I made it work. I did it. I got it done. And you could say like it would have been better, or not better, but it would have been easier just to be like, yeah, I'll have pancakes. I'll just get pancakes, But it's just so conflicting. It's so confusing because, if I were to eat animal products, I really would want to get them from a trusted source where they're actually being treated well, and they're not just being beaten and slaughtered and hung and all this crap. Like that's where I would do it. But then I think like, oh well, the easiest times for me to not be vegan would be like times like that where I'm out with friends and we're eating, but then the food that I would be eating wouldn't be like ethically treated. It would be like they'd be getting like the food at IHOP. I mean, come on, the chickens are butt to butt together. They're being tortured. the pigs like for their bacon. I mean, they're probably just being gassed. I mean, come on, like there's no way that the eggs at IHOP are like ethically raised, or the chickens that lay the eggs are ethically raised. There's just no way. I mean, let's be real here. It's a conglomerate company, or it's part of a conglomerate, whatever. There's just no way. They gotta produce for how many IHOP stores, how many IHOP restaurants they have in the world? Probably thousands. I mean, you can only imagine the animals that are dying out there for these IHOPs and all those other restaurants to keep happening. So that's where it's like confusing to me and conflicting, because like I'm not like, even like right now, I don't even want to think to go out and just buy like eggs. It just seems weird to me. Even though even though as a vegan, I've probably eaten more eggs than most people have had their entire lives. um, just because I used to eat so many of them beforehand. But yeah, it's just conflicting, because you would think that if I am gonna do it, eat animal products at some point, whenever, it would be like I would go out and do it myself, like go out and yeah, do it myself. Actually, maybe I would hunt, even though I don't hunt, but I would go out to the farm and get the eggs or whatever, cheese, dairy, butter, whatever from them, who hopefully they're treating their animals right. And then I'd come back and do whatever I got to do, versus going to a restaurant and eating the unethically slaughtered, these animals were exploited fucking meat or eggs or dairy that they have in the menu. So it's just easier to be vegan, I guess, right? But yeah, do you understand, if you're even listening to this, do you understand like where I'm coming from? Because it's important to me. It like this means so much to me. It all does. And um yeah, like I go to dinners with my family, and or like family dinners at my mom's house. She cooks. I mean, she always makes me food. But I think like, man, I feel bad. Like, I don't feel bad at all, actually, but like it would be easier for her if she didn't have to make like two dishes for me and go out of the way. Even though like you just should do like a rice dish and not like a bunch of vegetables and some nuts in there and stuff. And it tastes delicious. And like everyone can eat it. That's the best part about it. That's the thing, is that anyone can eat vegan food, right? Rice is vegan. You can have rice, right? Uh, but yeah. So, oh yeah, it would just be easier to just eat whatever mom makes and not have her make three dishes for me or whatever, and go out of the way to do that. So even though that doesn't happen very often, it happens like 5 times a year, maybe 4 times a year, maybe at like Easter or Christmas, Thanksgiving. But yeah, and the part about it all too is that everyone's always like they make fun of me, but then they're always like, "Dude, I have so much respect for what you do," and I really appreciate that. I just wish that like maybe they would consider their eating, like they would actually consider what they put in their body a little more than what they do. That would make more sense, and that would make me feel a little better. But they don't. They just fucking eat whatever they want. But yeah. Anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for today. Um, I I think I said everything that I needed to say. Um, I I love eating how I eat. My food tastes amazing. It's delicious. I feel good. I feel great. I have great results for the most part. I look amazing. I think so, at least. Even though I'm looking at myself right now into the Zoom, and it's like I don't know why, but like my Zoom's always like fuzzy. It's super weird. Like why is my Zoom fuzzy? Like even AJ's, his would be like super clear. Like why is mine not clear? I don't get it. Doesn't make sense. Um, but yeah, like I think with some of these like ex-vegans, they would say like, oh, like their face is falling in, or they have these issues and stuff. And I certainly don't see that in myself. That's for damn sure. um, but yeah, I mean, I have no major health issues, even though there's still stuff that I'm dealing with that I would like to get taken care of. Um, totally, our health, no one's perfect. No one has perfect health. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you say. You don't. You're everyone's dealing with something, no matter what it is. So yeah, like I still have health issues, but they're minor for the most part. Um, so so yeah, I talked about how I eat, how I have no reason to stop. Um, I talked a little bit of ethics today, even though once again I did mention that I do want to do an episode with Nick on that. And then I said like what I could see, like what I could potentially see in the future. I don't know, if no clue. I'm gonna keep eating how I eat. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I don't foresee any change anytime soon. It's not gonna happen. Um, and then I did talk about like some of the hardest parts of being a vegan, which I mean I could do a whole episode just on that alone and really dive into that. But um, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the show today, guys. I feel like really calm right now, and I love it. I really like just talking like this. I don't know. Um, but anyways, guys, I hope you have an awesome day. I have an awesome evening. Have an awesome night's sleep if you're listening to this in the evening, you're going to sleep, or if you're gonna take a nap right after this. But yeah, Woodstock's coming up. I'm so excited. I can't wait to go to Woodstock. It's gonna be awesome. It's so fun. I wish it was like twice a year. That'd be cool, right? But yeah, Woodstock's gonna be great. If you are still listening to this and you do want to go to Woodstock, you can use code Hungry People to get $100 off. It's in the description below. Would be great. But yeah. Anyways, guys, that's all today. Let's keep getting after it. Let's keep loving life. Let's keep being amazing and being beast. So anyways, with that, stay up, be great. Let's keep it 100, baby.